CBS News political director and Face the Nation moderator John Dickerson is in Washington. John, good morning.
Good morning, Charlie.
What impact and what might be discovered that could make this a game changer?
Well, I'm still trying to handle this first discovery. I can't imagine what might be discovered. We used to have October surprises. It was a single day in October. Now the entire month is a surprise. I think the change, of course, is that the conversation is all about Hillary Clinton and a damaging thing for Hillary Clinton and something that encourages the campaign to behave in a way that reinforces people's skepticism or concerns about it, which is why it's really interesting whether they'll continue going after Comey, which is basically all they can do, or whether they pivot. But the question is, does it move anything? And, you know, our polling and other polling shows that October surprises aren't what they used to be because everybody sorts new information by their existing partisanship. There is a lot of partisan sorting. There aren't a lot of people kind of sloshing between the two candidates, and 22 million or so votes have already been cast. The activity on Saturday suggested the early turnout among Democrats, you might expect a little dampening after this news coming, hadn't happened. So we'll have to see how it sort of plays out in the last couple of days. But the real thing to watch is those Republicans who were skeptical about Trump that they've been worried about on the Republican side. Does it change any of those minds? And that's what I'm looking for.
Did Mr. Comey have any other options here, John? If he had waited till after the election to reveal this, he could have faced other accusations. Was there another way to handle this?
I don't know. We don't know exactly what he has, and that's one of the things that seems to be confusing. You're right, though. Imagine if nothing had been said and then it came out after the election. It seems like this was designed in a way, though, to make everybody unhappy. And no matter what the election outcome is, people are going to be able to look to the FBI and have complaints. It is curious, this idea of if the warrant had not been issued when he put out his first announcement, and therefore they hadn't looked at the emails, or it seems mentioning that might have lowered some of the speculation. Of course, they might have looked at the emails without a warrant. There's no evidence of that. But I guess it's just quite confusing why there was not a something to kind of keep everybody from wildly speculating, because there was a lot of speculation, and we see Donald Trump saying that the only reason they did this is because they found some huge bombshell in this new cache of emails.
You mentioned that more than 20 million people have already voted in the early vote, so there's some question about how much this may influence the final outcome. What have we learned from those early vote numbers?
Well, we find that, you know, it depends on the different states how it's working. It's up in North Carolina, for example. Democrats are up, but they're down from where they were in 12. So we know there is a lot of early voting going on. It will change in its composition. So we don't really have a strong signal from early voting, although the Democrats say that they're up in the early voting compared to Republicans.
But down from 12, and they lost in 12.
Right, down from, but you have the composition of the electorate is different, and the early voting rules in North Carolina and Florida are a little different. So those comparisons to 12 are, you have to be careful about them.
Exactly. Thanks, John.